The need exists to understand that the actions being taken by the administration of Washington are not to make America great, but to induce her people into slavery. Of course, you would never allow that, so you must be convinced that the actions being taken are for your protection and safety. Safety is the key word being used to dismantle your rights and freedoms within a democracy. For democracy allows you to declare what's just and unjust while providing a remedy and solution. It's what sustains a government that is for the people and by the people. And if these safeguards and protections were to be removed, you would then have tyranny, with every decision concerning your life and what you can and cannot do taken. Because the powers that be say so, and have reserved the right for themselves to determine how or whether or not you can live. A determination to cut Medicaid was a decision to allow the deaths of many people. Sure, there were justifications given for these cuts, but they don't matter unless you're the recipient of Medicaid. There are cuts to SNAP, which aid families in need, but if you don't need or are on SNAP, you don't care. You don't care because you think the effect will be primarily on people you don't like, who you believe should get up off their ass and work. Because the rhetoric being spun concerning it is that it's lazy blacks with lots of babies who are the recipients of these benefits. Nobody told you about the whites with babies who use these benefits, or the hundreds of thousands who are about to be in need of these benefits, which won't be there to aid and assist them. They didn't tell you about affirmative action being cut or who benefited here. They let you believe that here too, primarily, blacks had benefited, when it was white women who benefited far greater than black women when it came to managerial positions and promotions. And the same is true for DEI, which benefited far more white women than it did black women. And although what you hear is how 300,000 black women were fired, they don't even put it in those terms. They simply say they lost their jobs, as if it were an error on their part, not a decision that had been made. A determination has now been made by Trump that the safety of communities of color are important to him. So important, he's sending the National Guard to address and deal with crime. There were no requests for assistance, neither do the numbers for crime warrant the action being taken. It was simply decided, and it's being done. But what's being done is illegal and in violation of the law. But apparently, that doesn't matter either, because people want to feel safe. The homeless population is being evacuated by the National Guard, even possibly jailed for being homeless and out on the street. So it's now a crime to be homeless and living in the streets, despite a total and complete halt on the establishment of new and truly affordable housing across the nation. Then we have immigrants who they are looking to deport. It didn't matter if they were actually citizens and deported, in the process of becoming citizens legally, or had just exited a courtroom for that purpose. Everything must go appears to be the modus operandi when it comes to deportation. And the majority have accepted that, despite the violations of law being committed. They are allowing the disregard for rights and the disregard for law for what they believe they'll receive in exchange. So if you're agreeable to the violation of rights and agreeable to the violation of law for any reason, then be agreeable when it's your rights that are being violated and the laws are being broken and the reasons being given make no sense whatsoever. Because this is how you get to a country in which democracy no longer lives.